Under Siege 2 Dark Territory is the follow-up to the fantastic Under Siege, and it marks the second to last time that I was ever excited for a Steven Seagal film, which is incredibly sad to say out loud. And Under Siege 2 is decent. I mean, it's not a bad movie. Not great. I mean, I like it. It never quite reaches the highs of the original, but it's still fun. Under Siege 2 begins with the military taking control over a top-secret satellite called Grazer 1. And the satellite is a subterranean superweapon that can cause earthquakes, and was designed by super genius Travis Dane, who killed himself just a few months before. We're then reintroduced to Casey Ryback, who retired from the Navy shortly after the incident on the Missouri, and is getting ready to travel to LA by train with his estranged niece after the death of his brother James. But first, Ryback has to tie up some loose ends at his restaurant.
Hi, Casey.
What's up, Casey?
Hi, Casey.
Welcome back. The place runs a whole lot better when you're around, Casey.
Kissing Seagal's ass already. I love it.
Well, the patrons come here for you, Casey. They don't come here for me.
I have never gone to a restaurant just because of the owner.
I missed my brother's funeral, so we're not gonna miss the train.
You missed your brother's funeral? Like, is there a reason? You're the owner. You should be able to get bereavement leave. He meets up with his niece, whom he hasn't seen in 5 years, and she's pissed that she had to take care of the funeral arrangements all by herself. As she should. Ryback, you're an adult. So they board the train and, oh shit. It just got real. If you see this dude in your movie, you know some shit's about to go down. Now, years ago in my next Karate Kid video, I erroneously stated that Michael Ironside only played bad guys, and I was quickly corrected and rightfully dragged to within an inch of my life online, and I vowed to never make that assumption again. But, without doing any research, I can definitively say that this dude has never played a good guy. Ever. He's always played a henchman, mobster, or petty thug, and I will stake my whole reputation on that claim. And also, this started with On Deadly Ground, but Under Siege 2 continues Seagal's new wardrobe choice. Big old coats that cover his belly and the girdle that he was wearing at the time. Now, I am not body shaming here. I lead a pretty sedentary lifestyle, and I get winded trying to put on socks. But I'm also not an action star at the height of his career who gets paid millions to claim that he's a martial arts superstar that can kick Jean-Claude Van Damme's ass. I mean, if I was, then I'd probably do some crunches or something, but he's Seagal, so he has to hide and pretend. But like, he doesn't have to be in peak physical condition. Seagal was in his 40s by this point, and instead of hiding it, I wish they would have just made that part of his character. You know, like Ryback's lost a step or two, but he can still get in there and mix it up when he needs to. I mean, hell, there was a whole subplot in Lethal Weapon 3 about Murtaugh wearing a girdle, you know, because he was getting old. I'm just saying, I would love to see Seagal show some humanity and humility instead of just being a vain egomaniac all the damn time. And also, Ryback is a chef. He should have a very good relationship with food. Like, own that stuff. Like, I would love to see a nearly past his prime Ryback who's getting too old for this shit. But instead, Seagal has to go the opposite route and actually have someone tell him how young he is.
What are you writing?
It's a book, my memoirs, stuff like that.
Aren't you a little young to be writing your memoirs?
So now Ryback purchased economy double plus tickets, which means he has full run of the entire train, including going into the kitchen to make a cake for his niece.
Don't give him the brandy, because I gotta use that to make the cake.
And he can allocate how alcohol is used.
Now, go find Sarah. We will surprise her.
Mr. Ryback, I was supposed to clock back in 45 minutes ago. It's okay. I spoke with the conductor. He said I can utilize the staff however I see fit. Do you know I had sex with a Playboy centerfold like 100 times? Her name was Jordan Tate. She finally left because she said my hog was the biggest she's ever seen and she couldn't take it anymore. Cut. Steven, we've talked about this. You don't need to improvise backstory for Ryback. Who's Ryback? This actually happened. I had sex with a Playboy playmate. She was Miss July 89. But let me tell you, I'll miss her pie 69. Oh my God! Jesus, Steven? That is too much. And mercifully for all of us, mercenaries then take over the train. Oh, it's not often that someone in a movie calls a 5-year-old girl a bitch, and with good reason. That was not pleasant at all. Oh, and then this dude just manhandles Katherine Heigl. I think this is a case of an extra going rogue. Like, he gave himself a backstory where his wife left him and turned his daughter against him, and now he's bitter against the world. Like, he wanted to bring some depth to the role of henchman number 5, and I'm sure no one was aware of the acting choices that this dude was gonna make. You know, and this is why I don't like haunted houses that try to promote themselves as extreme, because all that means is that they've hired local weirdos like Brandon, and basically given Brandon free reign to just grab the guests. And let me tell you, Brandon takes it too far every damn time.
Get this, huh? Anything else? Huh? out of here.
Oh my god, what are you, a cop? You're terrorists taking over a train and you're gonna scold someone for having a knife? Man, the extras are very extra for this movie. A lot of pep, but I guess they had to make up for the complete lack of enthusiasm from its star. The bad guys begin to go car to car, clearing out any stragglers, and Ryback gets his first chance to be a hero. Ryback, where the hell is he? Oh, there he is. Okay, well, at least he managed to save the rest of them.
Take cover now.
Nope. Okay. We find that the mastermind behind this plot is Travis Dane, who created the satellite and then faked his own death. And the leader of Dane's mercenaries is Marcus Penn, just a tough-as-nails psycho who fears nothing and no one. This'll be fun. He will definitely give Ryback a run for his money. And Captains Gilder and Trilling are having a secret affair aboard the train, and Dane needs them to enter their access code so he can take control of Grazer 1. And he threatens to melt Trilling's eyeball if Gilder doesn't give up her code.
The codes are different now. You can't use them anymore. It's no good for him. He can't use them. Linda, for God's sake, please give him the code. Give him the code.
And damn, this dude turns into a real baby after sex. Well, he's gonna pop my eyeballs out. Man up, dude. Good thing she already let you have sex with her, because it ain't happening again after this pathetic display. Ah, the needle's hot on my widow eyeball. What a bitch. Dane has set up a device that renders the satellite invisible to the military's equipment, and since Dane designed the system, he's able to bypass the blocks and he takes control over Grazer 1. The rest of Dane's men are sweeping the train for stragglers, and Ryback climbs up on the roof. And now, a normal person would have at least ditched the sport coat by now. I mean, we know why he has it, but it doesn't make it any less weird. You just don't have the range of motion with a blazer. And if you want the audience to believe that we are watching Steven Seagal and not his stunt double, then you probably shouldn't show the stunt double running. It's a dead giveaway. Like, look at him. He has good form, good posture. He does not look like he's frantically running away from a bee. Dane doesn't need Gilder or Trilling anymore, so they push Trilling out of the train and shoot him on the way down. And now, years of R-rated movies have desensitized me to stuff like that. Like, that's not a big deal. However, before they kill Gilder, they do the one thing that makes a character's death 1,000 times worse.
It's okay.
Honestly, when a psycho is all like, shh, it'll all be over soon, shh, or some shit like that, man, it messes with me. And I think the most messed up example of that is in Saving Private Ryan. Absolute masterpiece of a film and pretty violent, but the one scene that is so difficult to watch.
Listen to me! Listen to me! Stop! Stop! No. Einfacher für dich. Viel einfacher. Du wirst sehen, es ist gleich vorbei.
Ugh. What are some other examples like that in movies? You know, a person desperately pleading for their lives while the killer shushes them and tells them that it's going to be okay, and then very calmly murders them. Let me know in the comments. Ryback sneaks back into the train and enlists the help of the porter Bobby.
Young man, don't make me raise my voice.
Is that possible?
Right. Okay, take the f***ing white jacket off.
Man, it would suck to be acting alongside Steven Seagal and he slaps you because you know that is never in the script. It's just what he does.
Yo, man, you touch me again, it's your ass.
I also don't believe that line was in the script. I think Morris Chestnut was just f***ing pissed. So Dane targets a chemical weapons facility in China, and General Cooper and his team struggle to regain control of Grazer 1. And Dane uses Grazer 1 to create an earthquake and destroys the facility and contaminates a 100-mile radius. Dane then says that he'll destroy the Pentagon and wipe out most of the eastern seaboard if they don't pay him $1 billion. And while they wait for Washington to transfer the money, they're in communication with a network of anonymous millionaires and billionaires who are bidding to destroy certain targets with Grazer 1. And someone even offers him $100 million to destroy a plane that his ex-wife is on. And even though Grazer 1 is a subterranean weapon, it also works with airplanes because why not? What, are you going to prove that it wouldn't work? Yeah, I didn't think so. The military then calls in Admiral Bates to lead the recovery of Grazer 1. And Ryback and Seagal are communications experts, and so he's able to connect an Apple Newton PDA to the phone system to try to send a fax to his restaurant. Man, look at that clunky piece of shit. Oh, the PDA, not Seagal. Since the military knows about where the satellite should be, Dane puts several dummy orbits in their radar to make finding Grazer 1 more difficult. They know that there's someone roaming loose on the train, so they start searching for him. And 5 years earlier, Ryback would have flipped this dude no fewer than 5 times and then snapped his neck. But Seagal just shoots him. Careful, buddy. You almost broke a sweat there. A shootout commences and the stone-cold assassin shoots him off the train and they think that Ryback is dead. Penn finds the PDA and unplugs it, but not before it sends out the fax. And Dane hacks into the PDA to find out who it belongs to, and when they go into the notes, they find one labeled Ryback's Tactics, which consists of one tactic: don't be a hero. Good thing he wrote that down. Don't want to forget something like that. And so, of course, all of the mercenaries have heard of and are scared shitless of Casey Ryback.
Casey
Ryback. Jesus Christ. He's the best there is.
And now that they all know that they're dealing with a god instead of a man, they assume that he must still be alive and resume searching the train. They check the manifest and see that Ryback was traveling with a +1, and when Penn notices Sarah's Navy cross, he realizes that she must be Ryback's +1 and he takes her hostage. The chef at Ryback's restaurant reaches Admiral Bates and lets them know that Dane is on the Grand Continental passenger train traveling through Colorado. They only have 20 minutes until Dane's countdown is up, and Admiral Bates scrambles stealth fighters to take out the train if necessary. The $1 billion has been deposited, but Dane takes the train through dark territory on a collision course with another train, and they can't reach either train to warn them.
That's the Nevada Petrol Express. It's carrying 800,000 gallons of gasoline. It's headed right toward them.
It's too bad they don't have a telethon for face-itis.
Hey, they find a cure for that yet?
Hey, I'm just kidding. You're a good sport.
They scramble stealth fighters to take out the train, but Dane manages to destroy them using Grazer 1. And at the same time, Ryback hits the hostage car and takes out more of Penn's men. So one of his men thinks that they should just run, and Penn ruthlessly murders him with lightning speed.
Penn,
Ryback,
I'm coming to get my niece now.
come and get her.
So awesome. This final fight is going to kick so much ass. Ryback releases the car holding the hostages and goes after his niece while Bobby manages to hijack Dane's helicopter.
You know, I've never been afraid of anybody, but that uncle of yours scares me.
Why? So Ryback and Penn meet for the epic final showdown with some good old-fashioned hand-to-hand combat. And now they have been building up to this showdown by showing us what an absolute badass Penn is. And in a normal movie, our hero would initially get his ass beat and then muster up the strength to come from behind and best his foe. But Seagal's ego cannot handle that. And so the fight never reaches epic status because Penn never once gains the upper hand against Ryback. Ryback just effortlessly beats the shit out of him through the magic of extreme close-ups, obvious stunt doubles, and sped up camera work to give the illusion of a lightning-fast Aikido master. Like, this is Penn's face after 30 seconds. Ugh, I don't know how I'm gonna handle Seagal's later films. This was him at his peak. There's less than a minute to go and Ryback gets the drop on Dane, but Dane says that there's no way past his ghost satellites. But Ryback severs the connection by shooting Dane's laptop.
Never thought of that.
So Dane is this super genius who's been 10 steps ahead of the military this entire time, and he gets outsmarted by Casey Ryback. But of course, every Seagal character is basically Steven Seagal, so what they're saying is that Steven Seagal is a genius. You know, and they did the exact same thing in the original Under Siege.
Whatever they did, they're smarter than I am.
Just disgusting. So they regain control of Grazer 1 and destroy it. Now, there's a lot of people online that consider this part to be a goof because you can hear the satellite exploding in space, and there can't be any sound in the vacuum of space, which is of course a fallacy. You sheep all believe that there's really no sound in space. Why? Because that's what the government wants you to think? If you watch my Shining video, I have audio recordings from the quote-unquote vacuum of space. Yeah, how does that happen if there's no sound in space? I mean, sure, it's a little hard to breathe up there, but in reality, there's only slightly less oxygen than in Denver. And this is what those nuts on Facebook should be rallying behind. Not that the Earth is flat, but that space is like Denver. It's also not that dark. They alter all of that. That's all special effects. So I want you to rise up and join the movement and share hashtag Outer Space is Denver and break free from the stranglehold that the lamestream media has on you. Because in space, they don't want people to hear what you have to say. So the trains collide in spectacular fashion, and Ryback sprints towards the back of the train. Saunters? Meanders? Moseys? There it is. So Ryback moseys to the back of the train. So Ryback stopped the bad guys and the world is safe again. I mean, for now, you still have a mysterious, insanely wealthy cabal who is hell-bent on world destruction. And actually, that would have made a very cool storyline for Under Siege 3. I mean, I guess there's still time? I mean, Seagal has been saying for the last 20 years that he's making it.